Hey guys, um, we have an election coming up soon, right? So I thought I would take a moment to talk about why it's important to vote, and it has nothing to do with civic duty or because we're Americans and it's what we're supposed to do. Uh, Voting actually helps you in a way you wouldn't think, and if you don't vote, it can hurt you without you really realizing it. You see, any political campaign, any good political campaign, they will take the time to find out who's in their jurisdiction, who's going to be voting for them, and they'll do research on you. They'll find out what kind of political party you're attached to, your age, where you live, all sorts of little details about that. And you'd be wondering, well, how do they get that information? Well, all of that is public record. Anybody can go get that. What's also public record that most people don't realize is your voting tendencies. Uh, they could go down, pull up the public record on your file, and see how often you actually vote. And so, first of all, it's kind of scary to some of you who didn't know that before. It's fine. They don't know who you vote for. That's all anonymous. They just know whether or not you've gone to the polls. So, with that in mind, imagine you're in a political campaign and you're trying to win, obviously. Who are you going to go to help you win your campaign? Well, not people who don't vote. You're not going to cater to those people, right? Why would you? There's no self-interest in that. So if you're not a voter, what reason does any politician have to give you the time of day? Imagine for a moment you've got two neighborhoods and they both need the streets repaved. I mean, they're just both really bad. Uh, it wouldn't be too far a stretch for a city councilman or county supervisor, whatever position who's over this project, would look at this and say, well, what would be my best interest right now? If everything is even, they both they're in the same state of shape. If I want to get votes next time the voting season comes around, who do I want to pander to more? Obviously, people who vote. Why would you help those who don't vote? It's not within your self-interest as a politician. And I think people don't realize this. And you can really see this in real life. I noticed this when I was doing some political canvassing years ago. If you look at social economic politics, which can be a crazy field of its own, if you look at poor communities, you'll notice that typically the roads are not as good. Uh, it's just not as good a place. The sidewalks are all crumbled, if there are sidewalks. The neighborhoods aren't as safe. And why is that? Is it because they just don't put in as much tax revenue for the city or county or state, whatever it may be? Uh, it could be part of it, but if you look statistically, people who don't make as much money are less likely to vote. And so, if I'm a politician in charge of a project, why should I help them if there's no chance that they'll ever help me? Um, that is kind of really messed up, but maybe that's how the world works. Now, I realize a lot of you will be like, well, I don't like any of the candidates, so why should I go vote for them? I don't support any of them. Um, yeah, I can see that with certainly the presidential campaigns right now. I don't really like either of them either. And in that case, you could think that, oh yeah, I'm justified in not voting. There's no point. Cast a blank ballot if you really don't like any of the candidates. If you cast a blank ballot, at least they will still be responsible to you because you're a voter. They will answer to you at some point. They will have to answer to voters. This is especially effective at local levels. Just in cities and counties alone, you'd be amazed how big a difference this can make. If you don't like anybody running for city council or county supervisor or anything in your local level, cast a blank ballot. There is no shame in not voting for anybody. Just cast a ballot. Get your power in there. Get your say. Even if you cast a blank ballot, that doesn't mean you're not saying anything. That means you don't approve of anybody, but they don't know that. All they know is that you have power over them in a certain amount of form. And why wouldn't you do that? We always complain about politicians not helping us or not doing what we want. Well, do we vote? Do we take the initiative? Oftentimes, no, and that's really sad. I don't know why people do that and then complain. So if you don't like who's running, and you don't really know the issues or could care less, but you still want to be considered part of the political process, you still want to be a threat to politicians who think they could just do away with you and not have to listen to you, cast a blank ballot. That is my advice. If you really, really don't care and you really, really you don't have any investment in any of the candidates, cast a blank ballot. I think that's perfectly honorable. I think my point is with this video is that there's no reason you shouldn't vote. It's only good for you to vote. Uh, Not voting will only hurt you. No matter how you look at it, there's no reason. Unless you don't care about yourself or your family or your neighbors, then don't go vote. But then I really can't feel sorry for you. At least it'd be really hard. So, guys, the election is coming up this Tuesday. Just a few days away, really. It's less than a week. So, go vote. Just do it. Just do it. My air conditioning is broken.